Brazilian Championship 2026 kicks off this Wednesday. The 2026 Brazilian Championship kicks off this Wednesday, January 28, and it already makes history as the longest season of the round-robin era. The calendar change didn't happen by chance. The Brazilian FA moved the start of the league forward to adapt to the 2026 World Cup, which will pause Brazilian football for nearly 2 months, between June and July. Because of this adjustment, the National League will run until December 2, totaling 308 days, the longest duration since the round-robin format was introduced in 2003. For the first time ever, the Brazilian Championship will begin while the state championships are still being played, creating a unique and unprecedented scenario in the opening months of the season. According to the Brazilian FA, the early start is necessary to avoid a congested schedule after the World Cup, when clubs lose players to national team call-ups. The main goal is clear: less physical strain, more recovery time between matches, and fewer games packed into short periods. To create space in the calendar, state championships were reduced from 16 to just 11 match days, maintaining a similar overall duration but with fewer games. This allowed the Brazilian Championship to start in the first quarter of the year, even as regional tournaments continue. The changes don't stop there. The Brazil Cup has also been restructured. The number of participating clubs increased from 92 to 126 teams. The first 4 rounds will be played as single elimination matches, while the 20 Serie A clubs will enter the competition in the 5th round. The final will be decided in a single match, hosted at a venue chosen in advance. The Brazilian FA also introduced the South-Southeast Cup, bringing together 12 clubs from 6 states that failed to qualify for international competitions. The goal is to strengthen the schedule for smaller clubs and increase regional competitiveness. Meanwhile, the Green Cup was reorganized into 2 conferences, North and Central West, with the conference winners facing each other in the final. Important changes were also made to Serie C and Serie D. In 2026, Serie C will have only 2 relegated teams, while 6 clubs will be promoted from Serie D. Serie D will expand from 64 to 96 teams, increasing the presence of smaller clubs in the national calendar. In the Copa Libertadores, the Brazilian Championship will now offer 4 direct spots in the group stage and 1 place in the preliminary round, reflecting the adjustments made to the Brazil Cup, which will also distribute continental qualification spots. And now, let's take a look at the opening matches of the 2026 Brazilian Championship. Wednesday, January 28, 7 p.m. Atlético MG versus Palmeiras. 7 p.m. Internacional versus Atlético PR. 7 p.m. Coritiba versus Red Bull Bragantino. 7 p.m. Vitória versus Remo. 7:30 p.m. Fluminense versus Grêmio. 8 p.m. Corinthians versus Bahia. 8 p.m. Chapecoense versus Santos. 9:30 p.m. Sao Paulo versus Flamengo. Thursday, January 29. 8 p.m. Mirassol versus Vasco. 9:30 p.m. Botafogo versus Cruzeiro. The 2026 Brazilian Championship begins with a new format, a longer season, and a fully reorganized calendar that promises to reshape Brazilian football throughout the year. Who gets off to a fast start? Who will struggle with the new schedule? Follow all the latest updates here on Brazil's Soccer Dark News.